To something quite extraordinary.
You are listening to
Kayak Adventure Series.
Kayak Adventure Series. This is where
Bring it back in, Amanda.
choose your own adventure. You want to be offshore? You want to be shallow? You want to go up the
You
creek?
want to have a kayak?
You want to go for shoal bass?
Or a kayak that is simple?
You get to choose your own adventure.
Oh, looky there. That's a micro.
5 people watching.
I hope you brought the family. This is going to be wild. Hey, this adventure is going to be amazing.
All right, what's up,
Ladies and
crew?
gentlemen,
We
may
are
I direct your
live. We have
attention
6
to
people
something
watching.
quite
I
extraordinary.
cannot hear myself.
You are listening
Can't hear
to
yourself, Billy?
Kayak
Hang on. We may have some technical
Adventure
difficulties here. Let me get that
Kayak
audio.
Adventure Series. This is
Stop
where
real quick.
you choose your own adventure.
can't hear that?
You want to be off.
You can't hear the music?
You gotta
You got it?
mess up something.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
live.
right?
We
That's
are
right.
in Georgia, and normally I can hear myself when I'm at home. I can hear myself in
In
my
your
headphones.
headphones.
So
Yeah.
if I can't hear myself, it means I'm actually muted.
Yeah. Can you hear the music? If I hit this music, can you hear
You
it?
want to be shallow? You want to go
I can hear
up?
the music.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but we're live, so
We are
we
live,
have an
so let's get
exciting.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're here,
Why
man.
don't you explain, and I will figure out my technical issues.
We got this. We got this. So yeah, guys, I can't believe we're finally here. I mean, there's no turning back now, dude. Like we're here and we're going. The train is on the tracks and it's speeding up very quickly. And I'm excited tonight. We're going to bring in Amanda Brannon, who is our tournament director from Real Tournament Management, and talk to her about some of the most important things on the rules that we want to cover with you guys. Many of you are new to these tournaments. That's the most exciting part. The fact that so many of you guys out there have never fished kayak tournaments, and that was part of the goal with this series to make it a very welcoming and very inviting atmosphere that so many new people could come into the sport and just see why we love it so much. So we're excited to have all those new folks, and let's bring in Amanda, and then we'll update you guys on the numbers. We'll go down some rules and some of the questions you guys have had, and kind of cover all that, the important stuff, the main stuff we need to highlight. But don't forget, you guys are responsible for the rules. They're clearly written and spelled out on kayakadventureseries.com for anglers. On the drop down, click rules, read them all, make sure you know them. We're only going to highlight a few things that people may have kind of been bringing up, in some areas where people tend to miss. So let's get to it. Amanda, what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey, Drew. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing good. We're so excited to have you here. If you guys have never met Amanda, she is incredible. She's been around in the kayak fishing scene for quite a long time and has quite the resume of tournament management. And so you actually started Real Tournament Management, and it's going good. You guys manage, you have judges, and you manage a lot of events. So we brought you on board so I can sort of can I be honest, just so I can have fun really, and like be out of that side of the stuff, and I can kind of be the founder of fun, or whatever we call my title. But yeah, so you are the enforcer of a lot of the rules that you and I have kind of sort of come up with. But yeah, do you want to tell anybody else about yourself, or did I get covered pretty good there?
I think you covered it, Drew.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. So I want to tell everyone a story about Amanda. This is going to be,
Okay.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, make you get red, blush, but I want to tell you a little story. I was fishing a KBF tournament one time, and it was a big event down in Florida. And the app, I didn't download the latest version of the app. I missed the fact that the Tourney, which we will talk about, the Tourney X app, and maybe, just maybe, Dwayne Wally will be able to join us here today too and talk about it a little bit, because that's the app you guys will use to score your fish. So we'll get into that later. But anyway, on this app, it's very important that you update it, okay? And at this particular tournament, I missed that memo somewhere that it needed to be updated. And I get back to the boat ramp, and Jody Queen and Corey Dreyer are there, and I'm trying to get there was no signal out on the water, so I waited till I got to the boat ramp, and there's just, it's not working. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, it's not working. And there's only so much time left to get these photos in. And so I'm working with these guys and their phones. We try it on, let me text you the photos. There's a Wi-Fi at this animal safari park here. Let's connect to the Wi-Fi. And they're looking at my pictures. They're looking at my fish. They're seeing that it's telling me error. It's not working. And I am freaking out. So I run up and I call you I'm like, Amanda, it's not working. Corey and Jody, they see my pictures. They see that the app is not working. I've got them. Can I text them to you? I'm just freaking out. And she's like, I'm sorry. Like, you just got to go through the app. That's the way you got to do it. There's no texting in photos. There's no emailing photos. There's none of this stuff. That's your responsibility to find signal, to make sure you have time to submit the photos. And at one point, I don't know what happened. I think I got somebody else's phone. And I was like, hey, but I mean, I'll have a few extra minutes, right? Because you know that I've been trying, and I've proved to you I've been trying. I'll have a few extra minutes just to submit them because I've got, they see I've been trying, and it's not working. It's not me, it's the technology. And you're like, no, like that's the rule. The rule is the rule. And you laid the law down, and I literally just clicked on select on every fish photo I had that whole day, just submitted them all as fast as I could in low res. And I said, let them figure out which are the longest 5 because I didn't have time to go through and figure it out. And I got them in at the exact time, thank the Lord. But the point I'm making is Amanda, she might seem sweet and she's got that smile and she looks, but the reality is this is still a tournament, guys. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of prizes on the line. There's a lot of pride and, AOY points. And this side over here, Amanda Brannon's side of things, we take extremely serious. And so these rules are the rules. And we're going to get into that today, but I wanted you guys to know how serious this is. Otherwise, it's kind of all, so don't be confused. It's a fun tournament series. It's low stress, fun in terms of the stuff outside of the tournament. And even the tournament is fun. Fishing's fun, of course. But when it comes to these rules, we got to be black and white, right? When it's clear on the rules. So you are the enforcer. I don't know what your nickname is, but we could call you the hammer.
Hammer.
Yeah, there's hammers on the water that catch the fish, and you're the hammer off the water. But you have to be, and we appreciate that you're that way because it legitimizes our sport, and it ensures that everyone's being treated fairly and equally. So I appreciate that about you, and that you even stood up to you stood up to anybody and everybody the same way. I always have at every tournament I've ever had you judge. So we will, go over. Let's see. First, I want to say the other things that you do, just so you guys know, Amanda, you can email her at amanda@kayakadventureseries.com. You help set up, consult with me in some of the rules. You have judges that judge. You have, you're getting people the waivers, the adults, the waivers for the kids division. Mm-hmm. You're doing all kinds of different things, like that. What else are you doing? Like you're doing refunds. There's a lot of stuff you're doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. Back end papers, paper trail, computer stuff. So.
Yes, it's a thankless job for sure, but we appreciate it, and we'll get into we'll try to go through this all quick as we can, guys, and just leave your comments if you have questions about something. Jake and Billy are behind the scenes, and they will be tagging and flagging those comments and putting them on the screen when applicable, and we'll answer them. So far, guys, let's quickly share my screen. And actually, I'm not going to share the screen, but I'll tell you that the numbers the last time I saw, and someone can confirm this, was I think it was like over 70 something in the individual division and many more still to register. We have at least 71 right now in the individual division. I'm looking at it. And then there were like 16 or 17 teams last I checked. And there were 10 people in the micro bag, which I can see the micro bag entries starting to creep up there after pre-fishing, and people are like, maybe I need to go that direction. So that'll be interesting to see how big that gets. And then the side pot Sunday, I don't know how many were in there, but we're getting up there. So let's try to get over 100. We got the biggest registration day is tonight and tomorrow. And I do not want to forget to say that there is still plenty of time to register up until tomorrow. And if you guys have friends out there that are on the fence, just tell them they will never regret this decision. This is the first. This will be a monumental day, I think, in our sport and for this series. We're doing a lot of things different. You know what I mean? We're I think shaking things up and excited to be very different, set ourselves apart. So it's going to be fun. No one will regret coming here whatsoever. All the smiles on the faces of the anglers that we've been posting on social media catching these fish are literally say it all. And I talked to anglers on the water. They were like, oh, a couple guys from Ohio, friends of mine, Mark and Jay, were floating down, and I saw them, and dude, they were grinning ear to ear. They caught so many fish, and they were like, we we've not regretting this decision one bit, and they would not miss it for the world now that they've caught this fish and they're having a good time. So encourage your friends to register, and don't forget that Amanda can help you guys out even at the park at registration from 4 to 7 on Thursday. So still connect two people. Let's say you see someone there you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, oh, cool, man. Like, I didn't know you were in this tournament. Hey, why don't we just register as a team together? It's just $75 each, so let's just chip that in. So you can still combine as a team on that opening ceremonies and still enter all the other divisions. You can enter multiple divisions, all of them if you want. It doesn't matter. You don't have to fish just the individual or just the team. So I want to encourage you guys to keep spreading the word, because the more people, the bigger the party, the bigger the fun for all of us, right? So then I'm going to go over quickly the order of events. So bear with me, Amanda. We'll get to the stuff you're going to talk about more in a minute. But just so everyone's on the same page, this is listed in the detailed hourly by hourly itinerary on the website. So hopefully you guys have seen that. If not, we're going to just quickly cover it. Thursday, opening ceremonies, 4 to 7, Sprewell Bluff Park. You will be charged a $5 fee to get in the park, and we do not want them to waive that fee whatsoever, because we want to support that park and what they do for the river, and they're taking care of it, and it's an awesome spot. So $5, be prepared. I think it's per car, so if you want to carpool, sure, do it. There will be food trucks there, kayak demos there from Westbrook Supply Company, Southern Boutique Outfitters. You're going to have other vendors there like Kayak Loading Solutions. They're going to show you how their loader loads your kayaks on your truck with a push of a button and from the ground. It's pretty cool. You're going to have Kayak Cushion, I think, will be there. John from Yak Gadget. Just any other vendors that might have some items you might need. You might want to get a kayak cushion to be a little bit more comfortable for the event. You might want to get some accessories from John at Yak Gadget. So they'll be there, as well as your check-in is registration. You're going to get your $100 gift bags from the sponsors. We'll have some catch boards there for sale. I think Westbrook Supply Company has some of those. And, we'll be under the pavilion. It's kind of hard to miss us because you just go down to the beach area, the boat ramp at Sprewell Bluff Park. You're going to get your identifiers. You're going to get your AFCO bags. It's called AFCO Bank Bag, and it's for the tackle, Omnia fishing tackle for trash. Okay. And if someone will get a $100 gift card or $125 gift card for getting the most trash or getting the most unique trash item. And you can collect from, obviously when you get them. So Friday, Saturday, collect when you put in, take out on the river, when you float by something, whatever. I would really encourage you guys to do this at the put-ins and takeouts. And obviously if you float by a basketball, pick it up. But just let's leave this place better than we found it. That's our goal everywhere we go, to represent kayak fishing and ourselves and the Kayak Adventure Series, and to show people what we're about. So we can kind of set an example and be leaders in the paddle sports industry and the fishing world. But the AFCO bank bags, I want to mention, if you do not have to take one, just if you want to, it's optional. They're a big yellow bag. But I will tell you now, if you bring that bag back to the awards, or the festival on Saturday, we'll hand you a $25 gift card to AFCO. So that's a great opportunity for you guys to obviously, get $25 to the AFCO site. And I will quickly pull up where to drop those off, because we have worked with the city of Thomaston exactly where to drop them off. And it's easy. You can drop it off right from your vehicle. So let me quickly share my screen, and I'll hit present, share screen, Google Maps. And I'll turn this to a satellite image. This is downtown Thomaston, guys. So you'll notice this right here is here we go. The Ritz Theater is right here. This is the Ritz Theater. So while we're here, I'm going to tell you a couple things. This is First Baptist Church. This is where you should park, especially if you have a trailer. If you can dump your trailer or your kayaks, probably wise at your Airbnb or wherever. But this right here is where you should park. First Baptist Church, because it's very, very close. It's just a short 1 block walk from right here to the theater. But if you don't want to carry your bag of trash, you can come down this street here, because this street will be open. 19 right here, this will be open. Might have a name too, I don't know, but it's just showing Highway 19. But you can drive right here, and this parallel parking spot right underneath this tree will be roped off, and that's where all the AFCO bank bags can get dropped. I will be right here. You can honk to me. We'll be right here in a booth, the Kayak Adventure Series booth for the festival. This whole area, you guys can see my cursor when I move it, right?
You can see it.
You can see it. Okay. I didn't know if I was just felt like a dummy if you guys couldn't see my cursor. because I'm like showing you guys. So the stage will be here, and all the vendors will be all in this area on West Gordon Street, and this street will be blocked off for the sip and stroll from West Gordon Street all the way down here. And this is the kids zone, and this grass patch here, this open, lot. And this is where a lot of other vendors will be here, and vendors will be on this street, and mainly right here where all these cars are parked, this West Gordon Street, right in front of Slice's Pizzeria, right here. This is up on the square. So this is going to be, all right there. So it's easy. So if you want to drop your bank bag, drop it right there, and then take a right hand. Well, you can't turn right on Gordon right there. It's one way. But anyway, you get the idea. You can park here and just carry it. It's only a block, but that's where you drop them off, and then come see us at our booth right here, and we will give you, come see us first, I guess, and or honk when you're dropping off. We'll give you your $25 gift card. But this is the lay of the land, though. This is the Ritz Theater. This is up on the square where we'll be going after. We'll be on top, this rooftop area here. It's called Up on the Square. It's above Slice's Pizza. You can order Slice's Pizza there. It's owned by Slice's, so you can order from Slice's, and you can get drinks here. This is our after party. There's putt-putt up here. There's a giant chess board, and there's just fun. And the music will be on the stage right here, so we'll be able to hear it and see. And then later on, we'll be going to a different secret speakeasy for the rest of the after party. So that is that. Let's stop sharing that screen so we can quickly move on. Next. So that's the other thing at opening ceremonies, just so you guys know that we will figure out who we might want to follow and cover. We've got some guys with cameras and drones. So we might talk to you guys and ask if you want us to cover you. And what I want to say about that is this is an opportunity. This isn't like, something like, let's cover them and make sure that, they're like doing everything they're supposed to do. And like, no, we're just there to like film you guys catching the fish. And if you wanted to hire a cameraman to follow you all day and get content of you, pictures and videos, it would cost a lot of money. So this is like, if you have sponsors, this is an opportunity. Even if you don't have sponsors, this is an opportunity for you to have the memories of your life with somebody else there helping make sure they capture it from another angle aside from your GoPro or your, action camera or whatever you may have. And if you don't have it, we definitely want someone there to capture it. So if you're on some fish and pre-fishing and you think Friday could be a good day, let us know. We can maybe send someone out with you, help you out. Maybe set your kayak up with a GoPro. The other thing on the list here is the dinner at Riverbend. So this is very critical, guys. If you want to go to dinner, remember, Friday we don't get on the water till earliest is 2:30. Lions End is at 3. Dinner on Thursday night, I would love for you guys all to come. It's at Riverbend Restaurant. It's the prettiest view on the whole river. It's like 10 minutes away from Sprewell Bluff, where we're going to be. And it's at 7:15 when we leave there at 7. The dinner, they're ready for us around 7:15. We'll probably be there till around 9. If we have a big group, it might take a little while to serve, but just to hang out and have fun. It's close by. That's the whole point of this kayak adventure series, is the camaraderie. So please, let's all go to that dinner and have a good time. And you will never regret eating there, and the view you're going to see of that river from the top of that bluff where that restaurant sits. And they got good fried catfish and all kinds of just southern food. So we'll see you guys there at 7:15. And then I see some good questions coming in. We'll get to those, guys. Appreciate you guys sending those in. So while we're talking about this, check the opening ceremonies, Amanda. They're asking that many people are saying, is it mandatory? Is it required? So it's sort of like it's required and mandatory in the sense that unless you got like a really, really good excuse not to be there, then see Amanda and she will take care of you and tell you how you can still get virtually checked in. But you're going to be missing out on a lot of the fun and the festivities if you miss that. So it's yeah. So Sam Cox is asking the same question. So we've had a few people ask that question, but
yeah, they can call me on the cell phone 707-400-8413. If you call that number, I can get you virtually checked in if you have a good reason not to show up.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys there. That's going to be a good time. And then the next thing I'm going to cover is Friday morning. This is another cool thing. Bash U Brunch is happening Friday morning. We've got some great speakers there. We've got, we'll pull in the screen right now so you guys can see that. Thanks to Eric Ortepan, who actually added these color-coded days by everything. That helps you guys kind of see what's happening what day. So Friday's in green. You can go down here, Bash U Brunch. You can sign up there. It's when you sign up, guys, I think it takes you to I don't think it took you there. I just clicked on it. But basically, it takes you to a screen where it's a recommended $30 to support us bringing in the speakers. So you can change that $30 to $1 if you don't have $30. We want you guys there to like be a part of this and the fun. So don't think that just because you don't have $30, that's fine. Come anyway. If you got 50 or 100, obviously we'll take that too, because it'll help us cover the cost of getting a lot of these speakers there. So we appreciate that and all the support you guys do on that. But the main thing is you're going to learn from some of the experts here, because you'll notice you've got at 10 to 10:40, and we added that in red because that was added late. Gene Jensen, I don't know, a few weeks ago said, yeah, man, I'm coming. I'll do a seminar. And he's known for his rigging and electronics. And obviously there's more to this event than just the rivers and just the shoal bass. You could win with largemouth. You could win with Alabama bass. You can't win with spotted bass. They get small. That's a different species. Another topic for another day. But you could win with Alabama bass or largemouth or shoal bass. So on the lakes too. So Gene will tell you all about rigging, and you'll have question and answer time with him. He's, got over 500,000 YouTube subscribers. The Fluke Master is the man. And that'll be a lot of fun to hear Gene. And I'll be, serving you guys. We got food there, and you can click on the map right here. There's a link to the map to the secret entrance to this place. It's a secret venue that we cannot post publicly, but it's in downtown, and you will not regret coming to this. Like, not regret it, like big time. I took Jake and Billy there today, and they were like blown away when they walked into this secret place in this town. So 10 to 10:40, Gene Jensen, 10:45 to 11:15. It'll be a Meet the YouTubers panel. And I believe all these guys are going to be here and part of that. Alex Rudd, Marshall Stamps, John Dalton, Latrell Gaither, Eric Goodson, Luis Delgado, maybe some others. But that's going to be like, you guys know and follow those guys on social media and on YouTube. They're, I know you do. So let's, you want to get there and learn from them and, about social media and, filming, GoPro tips. They got it all there for you. So if you want to meet those guys, hang out. Even obviously you can ask any fishing questions as well. They're great anglers, obviously. So that is the Meet the YouTubers panel. 11:20 to 12:05, Dr. Salmons. I think Travis Ingram, I'm not sure he's going to be there. It might just be Dr. Steve Salmons, who I've had on my podcast in the past. He is a well-known shoal bass expert. He'll be there, and he's really funny. You do not want to miss this guy. I'm telling you, do not miss this guy, because he's going to give you information about these fish that will help you catch them. So if you haven't really been on them in pre-fishing, you can get a last-minute bit of information from Dr. Salmons. Trust me. He's done some incredible studies and has all kinds of cool facts about him. And then 12:10 to 12:40 is a bonus seminar. Jeff Little and Drew Gregory, river fishing secrets we don't want to divulge. Jeff Little actually likes to divulge them. I don't want to divulge them, so I decided to name it that. So come on to the Bash U brunch, and we're going to be serving French toast, pancakes, bacon, eggs, all the above, sausage. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys there. But when you come, bring your kayak if you want, rigged up, ready to go to your location, because when it ends at 12:30 or 12:40, you may just want to leave straight from there and go to the water if you've got a little bit longer drive, and if you want to bring any rods and reels inside to spool up, you can do that. No problem during those seminars. Just come hang out with us on Friday. It's not super early or anything. So come join. All right. I will stop sharing that screen and go, or you could, let's see, remove that. The next thing, let's see. So the identifier code will be released. I think we said, was it 1, Amanda?
At 1 o'clock.
At 1. Now, if you come to the Bass U brunch, even though it's the 1 o'clock identifier code is not public, we end that at 12:40. I'm going to give you guys there the code. So we're going to give you guys there the code for a few minutes early. Not that helps, but because let's remind them, Amanda, just because they have the code doesn't mean they can go catch a fish at 1:30. Yeah. And
yeah. So lines in.
Yeah.
Isn't until 3, and they need launch. You can launch Friday afternoon starting at 2:30, but lines in would be 3 o'clock. So those lures cannot touch the water until 3.
Yep.
And fish until 7.
Yes, that's right. Fish until 7. And that question just came up. Andrew Watson, you do not park at the church for brunch. You could. It'd be a longer walk. But when you click on that link in the on the web page there on that I just showed you guys, it says here's a map to the secret entrance to the place. Click on that, and there's a map. It shows you where it's at on that map. So you can park there a little closer. In the downtown square is probably the best place to park. It's Friday morning. You'll probably be able to find a parking spot anywhere in that downtown square or in the back side of the entrance to this secret spot. There will be some parking there. So look forward to seeing you there, Andrew. And then let's see. So yes, what you just said, 2:30 you can get on the water, but 3 o'clock is lines in. So somebody might say, well, how in the world do you what happens? How do you know if someone's not fishing at 1:45? They got the code. Well, a couple things. One, the Tourney X won't even accept it, right, Amanda? It won't accept it if it's not 3 p.m. If the photo isn't 3 p.m. or in between 3 and 7. So
Right.
it doesn't work. And if you try to manipulate and do stuff, trust me, people have tried it. This is foolproof. Amanda, I'm going to brag on you again. I'm not going to tell people how. There are a lot of ways to figure out. And people in kayak fishing, I think if you've never been in the kayak fishing tournament world long or haven't been in here at all, people have tried a lot of crazy ways to cheat in the system. But man, technology is just undefeated. It is undefeated. It's the sleuth of all sleuths. We've figured it out every way anyone could ever try to basically cheat. And obviously in the rules, we didn't really touch on this because I don't want to be like morbid, but in the rules, it basically says like, if you are found to, intentionally cheated, not you accidentally, broke a rule that you didn't know you were breaking, it was unintentional. But if you're like blatantly cheating, let's say cutting a measuring board in half and gluing it back together like someone did, and then their fish was covering it, and we can tell based on the scale of the photo. Okay, so or you're doing something like keeping fish in a basket, whatever. Like that is going to be grounds for prosecution, fraud. People have lost their jobs, their families. I don't know what this final payout's going to be, guys, but I promise you, it's not worth that. It's nice. I don't know if it's $5,000 or $6,000 or $7,000 or whatever, but it's not worth losing your career, your life, your family, everything over. So don't even think about it because it will not work out well. We will find out. Trust me, it doesn't work. The next thing I will say is the next thing on our list here is
The live
so yes. What was it?
live stream Friday night.
Yes, we will have a Friday night live stream from 8:15ish, probably around 8:15. We'll try to go live 8:30 because you have we give them till 8:15 to submit your photos for that day. You have an hour and 15 minutes both days. So we want to make sure you guys are able to get your photos in plenty of time and not stress. So let's say you got a 3 or 4 miles to paddle or motor out, and then there's no signal, and you got to load up and drive to get signal. We do not want you guys to stress about that, especially on Friday when there's no awards to be preparing at all anyway. So an hour and 15 minutes, I think, should be plenty for you to get out, find signal if you need to do that, get it submitted, through the Tourney X app. So please make sure you know where signal is and where that can happen, because that's on you. And again, it's like my situation that happened with Amanda and I back in, a long time ago. That's on me. If I don't know there's signal, I didn't update my app, like she can't do anything to help you guys. I mean, just can't do anything about it. So that's kind of angler responsibility, which you'll hear a lot in this live stream. Amanda, I know you say it all the time. There's angler responsibility on a lot of these rules, and we're going to feel horrible. It's kind of like when my son does something or my daughter that, and I feel almost worse than they do that I have to punish them. You know what I mean? But like, we feel absolutely horrible for you, knowing you caught the fish, knowing you have the photo or whatever happened. We are going to feel horrible, but we have to enforce the rules. So that's your responsibility, but we're going to make it easy for you. We're not giving you 30 minutes or whatever. We're giving you an hour and 15 minutes. So you guys can make that happen. So plenty of time. Then the next thing on the list is the Saturday is the 6 a.m. launch, right?
6 a.m. launch.
Yep. You can go over that if you want.
6:30 lines in, 3 o'clock lines out. And then again, you have an hour and 15 minutes to get your photos submitted.
Yep. So plenty of time there. Now, just as something for the friends and family who are not fishing with you guys, if they want to be going to the Friends and Family hike, the excursion that's going to happen at Sprewell Bluff Park, that's at 10 a.m. So remind them, if you got a spouse or some kids that are here with you guys, 10 a.m., meet down at that same beach area, and we're going to have a hike there and a lunch. My wife will be there with the kids. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. There's several other people I think we're going to be there. Ryan from RGM Fishtails, I think maybe they were going to be there, him and his wife and his kid too. So I'm not sure. There's several people are going to show up. It doesn't even matter who's coming. Just, you know where to be. Show up there at 10 a.m., hike, and pack a little lunch for after the hike that you guys can sit and eat, and maybe watch some kayakers go by, some anglers even flip by. Who knows if there's any on that section. But that 3 p.m. is about approximately, well, it actually might be a little bit later, but we'll be set up for our portion of the festival by 3. But I think the city might technically not be starting that festival until 4, like blocking off the streets. Maybe around 3. I don't, somewhere around there. It's going to be blocked off and start, because the whole thing goes from like until 10 p.m. outside. But you guys show back up and enjoy the festivities. Get there when you can, and I will. I think I've already showed you guys kind of where the festivals happen, so I don't need to show you the map again. But so just show back up there, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys and just have fun. And then at 6 p.m. is when we're going to head into the theater for the awards. 5:30 is when I want you guys heading in there, and they'll make an announcement on the loudspeaker at the entire festival. Go to the Ritz Theater. You got 30 minutes till the awards begin. So get your last drink, get your last bit of food, use the restroom, get in there and get some good seats. Okay. 7:15-ish. We will be when the awards are over. We hope. We don't know. Never done this. Could be 7 o'clock. Could be 7:25, 7:30. I don't know. Depends on how long Alex Rudd and I, filibuster up there on stage with everybody. But we're gonna try to get through it quick. You go to Up on the Square, which I showed you guys is just caddy corner right there, and we're gonna be at the rooftop for food, drinks, and games. And then 9 to 12 a.m. or however long you guys want to stay. Stays long or as little as you want. We'll be at the 107 Speakeasy, the secret location that you can click on, the same place that the brunch is going to be. The Bash U brunch will be. The next thing on my list is our footage upload discussion. So I'm gonna have to share the screen on this because we have to remind you guys how to get footage to us. So the minute you guys get a good clip on Friday, I don't even care if it's a pre-fishing clip. If you got a good video of pre-fishing, go over here to either for anglers. You can go to the GoPro edit submission form. I thought I'd change that to say something else, but maybe not. But or you can go over here to media. Right now it says GoPro edit Epic edit submission form, but this is where you go, okay? And the Epic edit is technically the edit afterward. So in Michigan, someone will win a GoPro package for the best edit of Shoaliepalooza, and then at the next event, someone will win, in Missouri, whoever had the best edit from Michigan will win. We'll put it on the big screen on the theater and we'll show it off. And it's a 1 to 3 minute. You can read the rules, how to do it there. But this is where you're going to submit any of the footage, not just your final edits, just any clips you have. And it's really simple. We don't make you guys fill out a lot. Just your name, first and last, the date that you captured it, so we know if it was pre-fishing, Friday or Saturday. And then also a description if you want to put in any information about this fish, anything cool about the catch that we would want to know. And all you do is click on add file right here where it says add file, and then boom. But here's the key, guys. Here's the kicker. Trim that clip down to only the meat of what we need. We do not need a 10-minute long clip. We can't even take it. We're saying usually they're going to be submitted in 30 seconds or a minute, maybe a minute and a half. That's it. There's no way. I guess if you really played a shoal bass out or whatever on spinning tackle, it could take longer than that, but most likely it's not. We just want the meat. All you got to do is go to your GoPro Quick app, hit trim, or get it on your phone download it to your phone and use QuickTime on your phone, or just edit on your phone in your videos and just trim it to that. And that's it. Submit it to us. And we'll put it on that big screen, and it'll be a part of our edit that we do after the whole event is over, eventually months down the road. We will give you guys a whole month to give us footage from Shoaliepalooza after Shoaliepalooza. But if you want it to end up possibly on the theater screen, especially if you're in the top, 10, 15%, and or if you get a unique fish catch, something crazy happens, something wild happens, you fall out in a rapid and it's funny, that's cool too. If you see a deer swimming across the river, you capture that on footage. We want that kind of stuff too. So anything like that it can help us produce a cool show and put some cool stuff on the theater screen at the awards, we'll take it. And it won't take us long to go through it if you guys are trimming it up for us. Will the award ceremony be streamed? The award ceremony will be streamed. We're going to try to stream it, and we'll see how that works. We're doing a few more tests in the theater, but our goal is to stream it to the general public as well. So yes, it will, hopefully. And then, but that's the deal with the last thing I'll say. We went over this on our last episode, the official GoPro episode of our live stream. You can go into our YouTube channel and watch that one. The last thing I will say is if you don't have a GoPro or an action camera, if you just have one action camera, put it behind you. That's the best angle. Right behind you gets all the action. It gets your fish, the cast, it gets the catch, it gets all the action. You can turn to the camera and you can turn around to the camera and hold the fish up so it gets the fish. The only thing I would say is if you do not have an action camera, you're not out of the running for getting a cool video clip to us. All you got to do is take your cell phone, right? Set it up, have a way to set it up so you can go see John at Yak Gadget at Thursday's opening ceremonies. He'll hook you up with his iPhone holder, right, for the kayak, and you could turn it around, hit record before you let your fish go. When you get a big fish, a 17, 18, something of that size and bigger, just pan that fish across the camera really slow to your cell phone. That's it. And then give us a fist pump, tell us how many inches it was, say anything you want to say about it, and let it go. And that is still very usable. That's you in the moment being excited, and you guys are helping us cover the event. You are the media. You're the anglers kind of helping us, and you're making memories for yourself and all of us. So it's really cool. But that's a simple, if you don't have anything else, just get that. And that could still be used and look very cool on the theater big screen. So the last cool new nugget I've never mentioned before, it'll happen right now. I decided with what GoPro's giving me for this Kayak Adventure series, how many GoPros we're getting, I've decided to make a new thing. We'll make a graphic and get this out to for the rest of the events. But I'm going to say if you capture the big bass of the tournament, you're going to win the Boondocks Big Bass Bling. I'll have to show off that award later. I got him. I could have showed him. I'm going to surprise you guys with what that looks like when we put it around the neck of the winner of that award. But Boondocks Big Bass Bling, you're going to get Yak Attack gift cards. It's like $600 or more in Yak Attack and Boondocks products. Jeff Little will be there, and you can pick out what Boondocks product you want. But if you capture the big bass of the event from cast to catch, kind of like I was lucky to do at the Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship with that 22-inch largemouth, if you get that on film from cast to catch, from the rear angle, we can see it happening, not just you just reeling in a fish, and then you from the behind you, a real angle like that, we can see it. We're going to give you a GoPro Hero 12 Black. So that's a nice, what was that, like $400 or something? A nice, we might even throw in some accessories, like a $500 more. So your big bass package between the Yak Attack and the Boondocks and the GoPro will be over $1,000. That's pretty cool. So more incentive to film.
That's a nice package.
Yeah. And I'm excited about that. I'd love to see the big fish end up on camera. So now the other last thing I'll mention here is if you guys do anything on social media with this event, hashtag Shoaliepalooza, hashtag KAS 2024. Billy, if you want to put those in the bottom, you can on a ticker or something, or just put them up. Shoaliepalooza and KAS 2024. I guess you could also hashtag Kayak Adventure Series if you want. But those are the main ones for this season for 2024 and Shoaliepalooza. And every event, you just will hashtag the festival name of that event, if that makes sense. So the next thing, and we'll start to get into some more rules things here. Tourney X, we talked about downloading the latest app version, so we can kind of skip that topic. And if you've never used Tourney X, just at the opening ceremonies, come to us. It's easy. It's so easy. You'll see a button that says submit fish, because you register through Tourney X, so you're in the system. It knows you're in this tournament. So once you pull it up, you'll just click on it. It should show up now, I believe, right? Like it should be there, even though it's kind of grayed out where you can't click it. But you just literally open it up, click on the tournament, Shoaliepalooza. There's going to be a separate upload for the team division, the micro bag, all the divisions. The side pot Sunday, which is Sunday only, but the micro bag and team and the individual division will have a separate upload, which is another reason we're giving you an hour and 15 minutes. Because if you're in the team and the individual, it's not that hard at all, because you're going to have your 5 fish figured out, right? And hopefully you're smart and you've put them in a separate album on your phone. Just make an album for Shoaliepalooza. Put your 5 biggest in there. Once you figure it out, add them in there, and then just grab them, put them in the individual divisions, submit them all. Hopefully you can submit them live. We want to encourage you guys to submit fish live if you have signal. It helps the people follow along, right, from home. And it also helps us just with the judging for Amanda and your team, just the judging. So please submit them if you can, but it's easy to use, but we can show you that at the opening ceremonies if you have any questions about it. Again, I know there's a lot of new people. It's not hard. You literally just click, Shoaliepalooza, individual division, whatever, submit there. It takes you to how many, and you put in your inches. It tells you to browse your photo gallery. So you go in and grab the correct photo, the one you want to use, the best photo of that fish, and submit it. And then that's it. It's like that easy. I mean, it's not hard. So now that kind of leads me to some Amanda stuff here. The measuring the fish. What are some of the things that we need to touch on there, Amanda, that you see that's important to highlight on measuring and scoring these fish? Because this is the most common mistake from beginners. They get deducted for inches from some things they do wrong.
Mainly the mouth being open. Make sure the mouth is closed on the fish.
I'll pull up some pictures here.
You're gonna pull some examples up? Okay.
I'll do that.
No hands inside the gill. And don't cover the eyes.
Right.
The eye of the fish. Make sure the fish, for people that haven't done this before, make sure your fish is on the board with the belly down and the mouth is towards the bump of the board. So your fish, the head's going to be here and then the belly facing towards you.
So let's see if I got one here. You guys, it came up in another tab. So hang on, I'm going to pull it up. Let me remove this and share my entire screen. That way it will share all of it instead of, there we go, entire screen. It's going to look like Inception for a minute, but this right here is the picture of a fish. You guys can see that, I believe, right? You guys, or no?
Yep.
Not yet?
Nope. We go back. We could see it.
You could see it? Okay, sorry. Yeah. So that's the mouth fully closed. You can zoom in. And when we mean closed, we mean it's got to get shoved, and you have to shove that fish into the bump for it to close its mouth sometimes. Sometimes it's hard. So you got to really shove it hard. Otherwise, you're going to get deducted. I mean, Amanda has to do it. She's going to judge you guys all the same. Doesn't even know who the name is. The fish is just going to come in. It doesn't matter who it is. You just judge it all the same. So you can pinch the tail. So keep your hand. Can you guys see my cursor on this one too?
Yeah, we can see it.
You see? Okay. So from this fin here, it's you can basically just, from behind the gill, basically make sure your hand is in the middle of the fish, behind that gill plate area. You don't want to get close to it or near it, like Amanda said, because that could harm the fish. You don't want to get over its eye. Again, that can harm the fish. You don't have to hold the fish down, but generally it's a little easier to take it and use your pinky and your fingers and keep its body down right there, and then kind of pinch the tail. I'm not actually pinching the tail here, but this is me here. So basically you want to get it to touch the quarter-inch line that the fish touches. Like in person, you want to make sure you always capture a photo that shows the reality that that fish is like this one, 16.5. If you look at your photos real quick and it's not touching that half and it touches, take a few more. Make sure you get it because you don't want to be skimped any quarter-inch, right? This is your identifier you can see here. Again, we'll have those for you guys, and you'll put it in there. So the next one, let's see, back to the rules. We have another example. Just want to see, that might be the same one. But
for the anglers that are going to use the metal catch boards, make sure your board's a little wet before you put the fish on there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's hot and, you don't want to fry the fish.
Yep. That's true. This is an egregious example of a fish. I mean, I just did this one. So you can see how that fish's mouth is open. That's going to be a deduction, right? So don't do that, guys. This is another slightly open example. This right here is a penalty. You might look at that from far away right now. You're thinking, what's wrong with that? When you zoom in, you see how its mouth is open? That's a penalty, guys. So you got to have it shoved up against that as tight for them to close their mouths. It's not that hard. You'll get the hang of it if you've never done it before. It's not that hard.
Hey, Drew, can you hear me?
Yes.
I know I got a little bit of an echo, but if you do, you're basically getting a 1/4 inch extra, and then you're going to get a 1/2 inch deduction.
Correct.
So close the mouth.
Right. Close them out.
Because in the moment you don't realize it. You're like, oh, it's going to hit that 20 inch mark.
Yeah.
Instead of 19 3/4. So you're letting the mouth be open to get that 1/4 inch, and then you get a 1/2 inch deduction. So
exactly. And make sure, guys, that this tail is on the board flat. It cannot be lifted off the board. And we'll tell with shadows, and you can tell when the tail's not on the board flat. So make sure it's on the board. That it helps when it's wet, like Amanda's saying. So wet your board. That's good for the fish anyway. Your identifier's clearly in view. Doesn't have to be, right there. It can be anywhere in your picture. And then make sure it's touching the bump. And there you go. It's not, in the end of the day, this is not very complicated. Kayak fishing events, this is not hard stuff. It's really not. But somehow, surprisingly, still, we have deductions. We have people that unfortunately forget their identifier or forget to write the code on the identifier with the Sharpie. That I'll bring that photo up again. They forget to write the code, which you'll write on our identifier, whenever we give it to you guys at 1 o'clock. And then we'll give it to you guys in the evening during that 8:15 live, on Friday evening. We'll give you the code for day 2, which you need to flip I will stop sharing that for a second, but you need to flip that identifier over. If you get one from us, you'll flip it over because it'll be on the back. And then you'll write the new code in day 2. It'll say day 2 on the back. So if you're printing them out from home, then you'll need to make sure you put day 2, in there for day 2 on Friday night before you go in the water. So that's kind of the main stuff I know for scoring. The only thing we didn't say, I think that we missed, the only thing we haven't said is make sure you take the photo from a nice overhead angle. It's not like too far back or too far to the left or the right. It's got to be kind of in the center of that fish, straight above it and down. That's it. Because we need to be able to see the tail's touching, the mouth is touching. If you take a bad photo, it's only going to cost you, potentially inches or a deduction or something. If we cannot definitively.
Fish needs to be in the photo.
What's that?
The entire fish.
Yeah, get the entire fish in the photo and the entire the bump part of the bump board. It's okay if some of the bump at the end of the fish's tail is cut off, but I always try to encourage people to at least get where it shows the next inch mark, the next inch mark, so you can see that 18 is there instead of, if it's a 17-inch fish or 17 1/4. Some people have taken photos that are so tight that you don't even see the number 18 because it's out of the photo. Now we can figure it out, and because the catch boards and the have numbers at the top, and we can figure it out. But just try to get it where a couple inches are at the end of the board, and the whole bump part of the board, the whole bump part is in the photo too. So, and then let them go. And all right, so the next thing, and we'll keep this moving. Let's see.
Services.
Yeah. Can you use shuttle services? So someone did ask if you can use shuttle services. Of course, you guys can shuttle with each other. You can use an outfitter. You can use any random Joe that you found at the gas station and offered him $20 to help you get back up to your truck, or whatever, help you run a shuttle on a river float if you want to do that. So that's fine. Which similarly, you can also motor someone out if they don't have a motor. So if you're on a float and somebody's paddling and it's gonna, they got 2 miles to go, and someone says, if they say, or you say to them, hey, can I tow you out? You want to ride? Then, they can motor out. So in the tournament's over. Lines out is over. So at that point, we want you to get back on Friday as fast as you can, to get showered, to get prepared for Saturday. And then on Saturday, we want you to get back as fast as possible to have fun at the festival. We don't want you to just be on the river paddling 3 or 4 miles when line's out. The damage has been done. I mean, damage in a good way. Like, the fishing has been done. Like, all the scoring stuff has been done. So it doesn't matter if you've stumbled across some random person that's in the river and they had a John boat and they want to tow you out. We don't care. Get back. Come for the festival. Have fun. The tournament lines out is over. Now, you can't take out at some public property. You know what I'm saying? That still applies. But in terms of getting out, you can get a ride out and motor out with some other competitor if you want to, if you don't have a motor. So, and obviously use shuttles. The other thing was make sure, number 9 here on our list is make sure you wear your life jacket. That's one of our rules. That's just, we're leaders. We want to promote safety and we set examples in our sport. So make sure you wear your life jacket and it's zipped up properly as well. Having a fishing license, we don't check this at our check-in, but we will, if you win, cash a check, get in our top 15%, you may be asked to show your fishing license. Very likely you will be, at least some of you, like randomly, but most likely you will be, because that's part of the rules. We want to make sure that we are doing our part of supporting the fisheries here. And that's part of supporting fisheries, buying the fishing license. And our rules state you need to be following the laws. And there's certain things that are, we'll get into in a minute here. Actually, we can get into it now. There are two major violations, major and minor, the way that Amanda and I have figured this out. Major is blatantly cheating or gaining an advantage illegally, like blatantly, like fish in a basket, cutting your catch board or trying to use the same fish twice. Those are all blatant cheating and premeditated. Like that's a different thing. That's like cause for disqualification and potentially prosecution and everything else, but there's things that are like I just talked about, this minor stuff. Like, if you switch boat ramps during the day and you get back in your truck and you run a stop sign or you speed 2 miles over the speed limit, or you forget to zip up a life jacket until, you're in your kayak, you're already in your kayak, you're on the water and you're waiting to launch and you realize it's not zipped up properly, it's not on, you could quickly put it on. Oh, shoot it. That's like stuff that we don't want, everybody out there trying to, find people, look for people that are doing these things and try to catch them in the act so they get disqualified. That's not in the spirit of Kayak Adventure Series at all. Those are minor violations that are totally different in our eyes. So than blatantly cheating, So, we just can't police those things, guys, and it doesn't affect the outcome whatsoever of the event. So those are called minor violations. And our number one rule, if you read the rules for Kayak Adventure Series, is the common sense rule. That's the number one rule in our rules page, which basically says there will be times where things that maybe we never thought of, that's never happened before, come up. And the common sense rule is we're going to, Amanda and I and a couple others that will have like a little committee, we'll figure out solutions. We want to do what's best and what's right for the anglers. We're not trying to find ways to penalize and stuff like that. We're trying to make this easy as possible for you guys and as fun as possible. So just know that's our best interest always. So we're not going to tolerate people who try to catch other anglers in a minor rule violation. As a matter of fact, if you do that, we're going to almost look at you and be like, why didn't you tell that person that they didn't have their life jacket on when they were stepping in their kayak? Or why didn't you mention to them that their navigation light wasn't on if they were launching, if you're launching in the dark and you need to have a registration on your kayak to be motorized and whatever. And so the nav lights have to be there if you're launching at a certain time and it's dark, right? And especially in a lake where there's motorboats. So that's part of the law, right? So that's safety too. So if someone doesn't have it turned on because they forgot about it, with their 360 light, just tell them, don't wait for them to like go out and then try to get a picture of them so you can get them disqualified. That's not in the spirit of, and it's not affecting the fishing and the competition. So please do not be that person. That's the kind of person we're trying to avoid coming to these. So if you're one of those people, just don't even sign up. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I don't want to deal with that. I'm not into that drama. I want to quickly show you guys the Georgia Department of Natural Resources statement on navigable streams. And so just so you guys know, this is the law in Georgia. All navigable streams continue to be open to the public for fishing and passage pursuant to the public trust doctrine, the common law of the state of Georgia, and consistent with the Georgia statutory law. This remains so even where private title to stream beds originates from a crown or state grant. For this reason, the Department of Natural Resources will not consider fishing without permission in navigable streams as a charged criminal offense. Accordingly, the department will not bring criminal charges for fishing without permission in violation of blah, 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 against persons fishing in navigable streams, even when the stream beds are privately owned pursuant to a crown or a state grant. This does not impact the enforcement of section whatever law on non-navigable streams, and further does not permit fishing upon nor passage through private property which abuts navigable streams. So all we're saying is that's the Georgia law. We're not out there with you guys. We can only tell you guys that we want you to do what the laws are in the states and follow the laws accordingly. and just be respectful and be a leader. Be respectful of other anglers, of other kayakers on the water, just recreational paddlers. Be respectful of the law enforcement that you might, run into, you might see. Be respectful of the landowners. Let's set an example and show everyone that, we're trying to do what's best for the fish, the rivers. I mean, we're cleaning up trash, when we see it at the access points and on the river floating. We're trying to make this world and these rivers that we care so much about, which is why we travel so far, a better place. So, Amanda, anything else there? Covered that basically?
Covered it all.
All right, we are good on that one. And we just, again, I want to say a big thanks to Travis, the game warden in the area. You can go, if you have any clarification on that, you can go to the Georgia DNR law enforcement webpage and call them or email them. But basically, we've worked really closely with them to make sure that we're giving you the proper information on, what to do in the states that we have these events. So there you go. And so thanks to those guys for helping us out on that and giving us that statement, which clears up some stuff. So the next section is what here? We got
measuring boards.
Yeah. We got measuring boards. The last thing actually is, sorry, in that last one, I see one more point. I just want to remind you guys to always take the high road when in any confrontation with another paddler out there, another angler out there, anybody, law enforcement, landowner, it doesn't matter. Just think about road rage. Have you guys heard these stories of people who got in a road rage fight and literally someone pulled out a gun and shot somebody and you're like, wow, because you never know what's happening in someone's life. You know what I mean? And what's going on and so it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. So just always take the high road and let's set that example whenever we're out there on the rivers and even if we're, somebody could be in the wrong or whatever, or someone's just frustrated, let's just take the high road in all these situations on the water and represent kayak angling as best we can. So the next thing is the measuring board. Yes, we will have those measuring boards. Some of the catch boards, like I said, from Westbrook will be there that you guys can purchase. So last thing on the measuring board is you may be asked to have your board checked after the event. So you need to potentially have that with you in your vehicle if we need to check your board after the event. So let's see. Wading and fishing, you need to be staying tethered. If you're portaging or anything else that, you're doing, you can be untethered. But when you're fishing, we want you tethered so that you don't all of a sudden get super far away, you know what I mean, from your kayak. And next thing you're carrying a bass 100 yards, back to your kayak, and that's not good for the fish. We want to get them on the board, get a picture, and let them go ASAP, right, as fast as possible. So we want you to stay tethered when you're fishing for that reason, and also for the fact that you could, if you're wading and walking in the shoals, it's good to have that kayak that you can kind of press on and hold onto that handle if you slip and fall. These are dangerous, rivers here if you're fishing in the river. So that's nice to have that. Plus your tackle box and everything's right behind you. And the last cool thing is when you're filming, you can turn your GoPro, if you don't have it facing that direction already, you can have it facing you and it's capturing all your fishing too, which is awesome because you might get a cool fish catch that could end up on the big screen. So that is why you want to stay tethered, all those reasons. The next thing is legal launches. So we have a flow chart that shows you guys how to make sure you're fishing from, land access or land that's public, right? And someone followed that flow chart, and there are a couple. There's one or two that might end up with an option that says call us. If you're still confused, if it ends up in this spot, call us and message us. So they did. And after talking to the game warden, we are going to consider the launch below Juliet Dam a legal launch for the event. I doubt anyone out there thought that it wasn't. It's been used for decades, but it is a legal launch for this event. So there's a launch above there as well, but that is a legal launch. So I can no need to even pull it up. It's on the Ocmulgee River. It's below Juliet Dam on the East Bank. That would be considered a legal launch for this event. Legal tournament launch. The new addendum concerning tributaries, I should pull that up. And then we will add my screen to the stage. We'll grab rules. It's up here in red. Anything we change, we turn it red so that you guys, whenever you go back to the site, you just need to scroll and look for red, because, you know, we don't want to send a bunch of emails or, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but it gets like confusing sometimes with a bunch of communication going out with live streams and emails and text messages and from TourneyX and all this stuff. It's like, no, we're just going to keep it on the site, on your tournament page or the rules, anything in red that we changed, because you guys may have signed up and read through the rules 2 weeks ago and this wasn't on there. So we want to make sure. So what this is there are a few rare situations, okay, but we want to cover everything, where if you go way up a tributary off of your core bodies of water, because remember, we have those core bodies of water listed and pinned on your tournament page. Those are your legal for this event. It's the Chattahoochee River, and there's an upstream and downstream launch boundary. It's the Flint River, and there is a downstream launch boundary. There it is the Ocmulgee River with a upstream and downstream launch boundary, and then it is the it's Lake Juliet and High Falls Lake. Okay, those are the core bodies of water. So concerning any tributary that goes into those core bodies of water, think about it like a tree trunk, right? You got all the limbs and branches that go way out and they get teeny at the very end, and you got the roots that go down and they're teeny at the very end. Your lakes and your major rivers, the core bodies of water, that is all the waters that's connected, all the tributaries, all those branches, right, and roots. They're all connected flowing into those bodies of water. That's all legal until you get to a dam that's not a spillway type dam, right? Which you can read here about that. Any of these, I'm not going to read this whole paragraph here about this, but concerning any tribute, I'll read the part in red. If you go way up a tributary in a creek, I mean like way up where it's not even a considered navigable water potentially, or it could be considered navigable, but when you go way up and you get to, there could be some spillway dams that are creating what's called a mill pond or a city pond or a city lake, or it could be named whatever. It could be named Johnson Lake, but it's flowing over a spillway dam, which the way our rules are written, spillway dams are okay to portage above and below, and even launch and fish above and below. You don't have to portage them. You could just fish 20 miles above it. That's fine, and launch and fish above it. However, anytime you go off of your core body of water and you go upstream on Google Maps and you're looking and researching, you go upstream and you find a spillway dam, that above the spillway dam is a named lake or mill pond. That's what this is saying. Concerning any tributaries off of one of your core bodies of water, if you encounter a spillway type dam that the water above it, using Google Maps as our authority, our guide, is a named lake or pond, that will be considered a hard boundary. If it is not named above and it's still just considered the river or creek, just like the Juliet Dam on the Ocmulgee River, there's no named lake above Juliet Dam because it's just still the river. They don't need to, no one's ever named it officially. So Google Maps has no name for it. It's just the river. It's the Ocmulgee River. So anything upstream, if it's just running the river, those dams, if there's no named lake, it's legal to fish and access upstream of those dams. So, and it's your responsibility to know all the laws and research. If you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to us. But we want to make sure there's some spillway type dams that are right, that go right into a lake, like the lake is there and the creek is there, or the river, or a tributary creek or river off of a core body of water. Maybe not so much here, this event, but at other events, you could have a spillway dam like a mile upstream. And then there's another 30 or 40 or 50 miles of great fishing above it. We wanted to make sure our rule set was in the spirit of what we're trying to do with kayak fishing and let you guys explore and fish these public waters that are great fishing and wild places. So we needed to make sure we kept those spillway dams that are just running the river in play. So, all right. Anybody have any questions about that? Because I was reading that and watching that and could not be checking the comments. Is any comments? We're good on that? All right. So we're almost done here, guys. And we're basically an hour, which what we were hoping for. The microbag division, do you want to touch on that, Amanda?
Sure. So with the microbag division, you're going to need to wait until you have your 5 fish that you want to submit. So your 5 smallest fish, then submit your fish. Don't submit them one at a time. Or if you only end up with 3 fish, don't submit it. We only want if you submit 5 fish.
Yep. It's a full limit. So wait. And the reason is, I don't think Dwayne ever made it on here. I know he's working tonight. He said he's not sure if he can make it, but Dwayne's going to adjust that microbag leaderboard to a reverse one of these days. It's in his list of things to do. And Dwayne is the owner of Tourney X, for people that don't know Dwayne, when I say Dwayne. And he's going to give us a new kind of leaderboard that's inverted. So basically it will be your whoever has the smallest number, which is the microbag, right? It'd be 25 inches is the smallest you could get because it's a 5-inch minimum. Whoever has the least number of inches actually is number one on the leaderboard. So once you guys submit all 5 to that division, then, like you're saying, you get all 5, you submit them. Then whoever's at the bottom for this event, I don't know when we'll get this leaderboard adjustment made. For this event, whoever's at the bottom will obviously be the winner. So you'll have the smallest number of inches. So Mark Bradford's asking if you could pinch the tail. Yes, you can pinch the tail. You can go all the way down, pinch the tail. We want you to get every inch possible. The way a biologist or the way a Bassmaster Elite Series Pro checks the length to make sure it's a legal fish for them to keep in their live well is by the same thing, pushing their mouth against the bump and pinching the tail and swiping it across their board. That's the way it's, biologists and everyone measures it. The state measures the fish and judges it by. That's what we're going to do too. You can pinch the tail. We want you to get as much out of these fish as possible, lengthwise. So take a safety photo first so they don't flop off the board, guys. I always push them. I hold them down tight. I push them against the board, take one safety with my hand on it, and if them pushed against it tight, I don't care what the tail shows. It might be a 16 3/4 inch fish and it shows 16 1/4. I don't care. I want one good photo before that fish maybe has a chance to flop. And then after that, start working on pinching the tail and getting better photos of it. Let's see. The last thing. Sportsmanship. We've kind of already touched on it, but just communicate with one another, guys. I mean, the last thing we should have is you guys out there having any issues. Just communicate. Do not, I would say this goes for lakes and rivers. The rule of thumb is if you're going down a bank of a river, a left or right-hand side, or you're going down the bank of a lake, and you come up on somebody else, you're going down the same bank, and you come up on somebody because you're fishing faster. If you're going to go around them, don't go around them and just like 50 yards ahead of them or 100 yards. Like go to the other side, fish the middle, go to the other side of the river, or go around them, but like go a half mile away. Go like a quarter, half mile, a good ways away to give some space and respect that they were going down there. Just kind of, you can even talk to them and communicate and say, look, I'm going to go down, way around the next bend, whatever. Just try to work it out, guys. Main thing is just don't go right in front of somebody if you can help it, for sure. The last things here is just thank you guys for all the feedback, because this has been a fun one. Obviously, we haven't even gotten through it all, but you guys have been catching a lot of fish, having a lot of fun. You're making lifelong memories, which is what this has always been about, and friendships and catching fish and checking it off your bucket list. And, it's been really fun to see you guys have so much fun out there in the water. And hopefully you have a good day on the water on Friday and Saturday. But thank you guys for all the comments about, hey, could you guys tweak this or that? This needs a little bit more clarification on the website, and we get right on it and change it right away. But we don't know that until you guys give us that feedback. So thank you guys for that feedback. And I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. I'll probably get there a little early, around 3 o'clock, to set up some games, or 2:30 or something at the Bluff. And unless let's see if there's any other question. So that's pretty. I mean, anybody have any questions that's unanswered? I don't see any.
Maybe since we have a lot of new anglers fishing, may have not used Tourney X, any announcements for the tournament itself we'll put out. We'll send an email out through Tourney X. Yeah. So that will be the official way for, if there's any weather that's coming through, any changes, if unfortunately we had to make a change, we'll send an email out. Yeah.
I think that's about it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. And there's no telling. There's no telling what's going to happen. I mean, there's literally no telling, and I'm excited. City's excited. I know you guys are excited. So I guess that's it. No one has any questions. I feel like surely we missed something, but I guess we covered it all. So thank you guys so much.
Kayak that is sophisticated.
that is simple.
It's going to be great. I can't believe we're here already. Keep the comments coming. Thank you, everyone, for watching the live episode. I can't believe this Shoaliepalooza already. But it's going down. Tomorrow is the board check-in. We're about to end this live stream. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
We'll next day we'll post that number, guys. Larry Bryant, we see your comment. We'll post that number. It's on the website too. It's on the website, but we'll post it again so you can find it.